Hello and welcome to VRC's, the Virtual Racers Club's Redbull Junior X's, round 6 from the high-speed rig. Hope you're all doing well tonight. So we did rounds 1 and 2, missed 3, 4, 5, but we're doing round 6 as the championship starts to come to a bit of a interesting point now. We'll run through the championship as we go through the evening. Hi ho, it says Skyjacker. Hi ho. Do you need me to say ready? I am ready. Just in time for the start of qualifying. Should be a 10-minute qualifying tonight, as per usual. If you've been following previous rounds 1 and 2. So it'll be a 10-minute qualifying followed by 3 15-minute races. Right, James Harvey says, good luck, guys. We're joining the grid soon. Good, there's plenty of space. Right, let's get going then. As per the usual rules, there will be a bit of ballast in play as well. Get the sound balance alright. Yep, so there will be ballast applied for the top 3 from the previous round, which, if I check the driver's debrief, so Skyjacker is on 605 kilos total. Big Dan's, so Ensign has got 588. Koi Carp saying good evening, sir. Good evening, Koi. Are we doing alright? And then Pat's got 572. If my memory serves me correct, is 10, 7 and 4%. So Skyjacker carrying extra 10% of mass tonight. Right, let's get this sorted. We don't want those on. Right, high speed ring. Good fun, this track. It could rain here as well. I'm not sure what the settings are for Skyjacker's got on, but it could well rain in this track as well. So let's watch then as they go into their first qualifying laps. This is an update of a classic GT high-speed ring, which wasn't around, I don't think, certainly it wasn't GT Sport, wasn't around for 6, I don't know, I believe 5 possibly, I don't know. I'm not a huge expert on GT, some of the guys, but it's a great track to drive here, that's for sure. Right, Skyjacker looked like he went off a little bit. Oh, Dan's gone round, Sky's hit him. These cars are obviously tricky in the around the high speed ring. Interesting. Right, so we've got Bunny who's doing the GT7 shuffle. I think we've seen him before doing that. So he will probably be the first to set a lap, and he's got Pat right behind him. We're getting a nice tow. Right, let's not follow that because it makes him feel a bit woozy. Right, let's see what Bunny does cross the line then. He's going to do a 1:11.9, which is swiftly beaten by the Jamie Dodger, who's 28 thousandths quicker. It's going to be super close here, and it's all going to be about the toe. Right, where's Pat? The Big Dan's just done a 1:29, which we'll ignore. Skyjacker did a 1:20, we'll ignore that as well. Right, let's go round turn 2. Looks like this car's got a lot of understeer through turn 2. Usually the high line is the quickest through there. You want to do a wall of death. Jamie Dodge is just over a tenth down on his fastest. I don't know about Bunny. He's skipping around all over the place. Alright, let's see what Sky does. I think there's... Oh no, he's come up to the end of the second sector, which is through the little chicane. Let's see what he's doing. He's 5.3 up on his fastest, understandably, but I don't think that's going to trouble the leaderboard just yet. So Pat has done a 12.4 to go into third. 4 tenths off the lead. Let's see what Sky's Bunny goes goes quickest now on a 11.8. Sky's just done a 12.2. So he's lapped up the third. Let's see what Big Dan does. He comes across the line, pops it into third place, only 0.138 off pole. So, as expected, this is super tight. Right, fine. So there we go. Right, we got YouTube running as well. So come and say hello in the chat. Right, let's see what Bunny's doing. Can Bunny improve on a 1:11.808? Just coming through the end of the second sector. There's only 5 tonight, but it should be fun because there's lots of towing. Right, Bunny is nearly 3/10 up. And he's probably far enough out that whoever's following him, which I think is a Jamie Dodger. No. Pat's gone pole. Pat has gone quickest. I think he's about to get gazumped by Bunny, but Pat's gone quickest, so Bunny goes fastest by 4/10. That's a great lap. Pat's moved up to second. Skyjack has just improved. Jamie Dodger is a third. So let's see what Big Dan's next effort is. Doesn't improve. So the 2 championship leaders, Skyjack and Big Dan. Big Dan leading at the moment. Skyjack is second. 4th and 5th. Right, end of the first sector. Bunny is only 5/100ths down. What's Pat doing? Pat's coming through the end of the second sector. Can he improve? Oh, he's a second down, so that's going to be probably a no. Jimmy Dodger looked a little wide out. That's turn 4. Oh, he's up though. He's 2/10 up. Let's see what he can do. He's basically just pinned it to the floor, ride the wall of death on the outside, and hopefully pick up a little bit of a toe from Bunny in front of him. Let's see what he does. It's going to be improvement. It is an improvement. Bunny goes quicker. Jamie Dodger up to second. Bumps Pat off the front row down to third. But it's an improvement. Where's Pat now? Pat's just gone through. So Pat did a 13.1, so he did improve there. Big Dan now has improved up to third. The second, third, fourth, fifth is super close. But Bunny's done a super job to get 3/10 clear. That's a great effort. He's not even getting a toe from anyone either. Right, anyone else on a lap? Just over 3 minutes to go. Let's follow Jamie Dodger. Should we go on board? Have a look to see how it looks on board. We come out of turn 1, 2, 3, turn 4 into a turn 5, which is a flat kink. And then a turn 6, which is a flat 180. Oh, got a bit too high though. No, a bit too high coming off the banking. That barrier is evil. It sucks you in. It's horrible. It's got like a magnetic force to it that it just, once you're in it, you can't get off it. Right, let's see. Let's have a little watch. Let's watch from Skyjacker, shall we? Interesting. Everyone's taking a very high line going in, and then cutting down at the end of the apex. Which is interesting. Right, so after rev limiters, we go into 2. The hardest corner on the track. Sky decides to go down low rather than the wall of death. 3/10 off his PB into turn 3, which is a tricky second stroke third gear hairpin, into a similar tricky second or third, or in this case fourth gear left-hander. And that's it. And you're done. Just hug the curb. You can put 2 wheels on the curb there. There you go. And then keep it as tight as you can into the top of the corner, the banking, but minimise tyre scrub. That's a lap of a high-speed rig. Looks like it's getting darker. Right, so Skyjacker does not improve. What's Bunny doing? Bunny is bagging in the mid-11s. Was 11.4 on last lap. Big Dan's improved again. He's taken another 10th or so off his fastest. So Big Dan's probably only got one more lap, but the guys in front of him have probably got 2 more. Jamie Dodger's not improving on that one. Where's Pat? Shame they don't give us the mini sectors or even greens and purples on the lap timer. We've got end of sector 2 coming up. On go the headlights, we go through the tunnel. Paul Pat's ever so slightly up on his fastest. Only needs 600ths to go up to third, and he's going to get, as long as he doesn't get too much understeer, and that was to be a good line through there. But he goes quicker again, he's into the 10s now. I think Pat's going to jump up there, he's getting a lovely tow. He does, jumps up to third, and he's going to get one more lap in as well. The Bunny, it looks to be pretty safe there. He's 7/10 up. That's mad. Big Dan jumps into second. I wonder if this must be the effect of the ballast coming in here. So Big Bunny and Jamie Dodger are the only 2 not ballasted up. And there's quite a few accelerations out right. So Jamie Dodger's only couple of hundredths off his PB. Sky's just behind him. Just did his fastest. Let's see what Jamie Dodger does through sector 2. Right, he's 2,000ths off. Skyjacker is 500ths quicker. He might be in line here. What's Pat doing? Oh, Pat's getting a good tow off Skyjacker as well. So Skyjacker might jump Pat, but Pat's in his slipstream. Alright, here we go, across the line, then finished it. Jamie Dodger improves. Sky goes up to 4th briefly, then drops down to 5th. Pat jumps up to 3rd. Super result there, look at this. That is our grid then. So for race 1, Bunny on pole by 6/10. So is a 10th covering 2nd to 5th, but Bunny somehow is 6/10 up. Hugely impressive. Then we got Big Dan 2nd, Pat 3rd, Jamie Dodger 4th, and Skyjacker 5th. Well, that was from Bunny. I'm going to try and adjust my sound balance, but I don't think I can. I can whilst I'm streaming. That's annoying. Right then, here we go then. First race of the night. 15-minute straight race. Everyone has to use softs. No tyre deg, no, especially around this track, and no fuel deg. It's just a flat-out blast, and this is going to be Days of Thunder style. It's going to be a high-speed game of chess, I think, these races. Although they do look a little skittish through the infield bit. So the driver can make a difference through turn 2, 3 and 4. Right, here we go. It's down for round 6, race 1. I need to remind myself to turn off this background music, it's highly annoying. Right, let's do, oh no, want that, and we're ready to go. Right, standing start as always, here we go, Bunny on pole. 3 lights, got 4 lights, got 5 lights, and we are go. And we've got a clean start, no false starts, which is good. Look at Bunny flying away, Dan and Skyjacker. You see the difference in the ballast off the line. But Bunny has taken the lead. Pat is up to 2nd, and we should now have all 5 cars in a lovely row. Interesting to see how long they can hang on to each other. Right, let's go on board with Pat. Is he going to make a move as we go into turn 2 already? Goes down the inside line. Well, Jamie Dodger's hanging out the air outside. We've got three-way battle for third as we go into turn 2. Let's see how this plays out. So Big Dan at the back. Looks like Bunnies is escaping. The Skyjacker's trying to go down the inside. Jamie Dodger puts it up on the curve, and then Pat's trying to nestle in. Let's go ball with Pat. Where we go, we can see just about see Skyjacker through the kink. Bunny's already escaping. Skyjacker and Pat are alongside each other. Let's go to Skyjacker. Where is he? Oh, we've cleared Pat by the looks of it. Yep, Pat, I think it backed off, and we got Big Dan right behind us. But as you can see, there's going to be a bit of bump drafting, I think, going on here. Skyjacker and Jamie Dodger working together. They're going to have to do this because they're already out of tow range. We go on board with Skyjacker, so he's giving Jamie a good... Oh, what happened there? Oh no, is that a problem? I think Bunny is... I think he's had to jump off by the looks of it. Oh, that's frustrating. Oh, his connection's gone. Ah, so we're down to 4. Poleman, I think his internet's dropped out. It looked sketchy, didn't it? He was getting a lot of jumping around. So we got a 4-way race, but we got 4 cars all separated within a second. So let's see what goes on here. Right, so Jamie Dodger takes the lead. Keep an eye on the chat to see if anything pops up there. Let's just keep an eye on the chat, see if Bunny pops anything there. Right, so Jamie Dodger leads across the line then, end of lap 2. And we've got a 2-way battle now for second. Everyone's sitting in the tow. Skyjacker and Pat. Skyjacker going around the outside. Let's go on board with Skyjacker. There we can see Pat inside us. I think Anton is just behind, and we got some random people joining the room. That's a good view. I like that view. Oh, sounds like someone collected the wall. That was Pat. Look at that. That's a great view. I love that view. Right, into turn 3 we go. Oh, you can hear the front side scrubbing as they understeer through turn 3, through turn 4, full lock. And Pat is sitting on the back of Jamie Dodger. And I bet we can see Enzyme right behind us. There's Big Dan as well, look at this, all 4 in a row. This is going to be all about, there's no fuel saving. Oh, bit of a touch there. There's no fuel saving, there's no tyre deck. It's all about being in the right place in about 10 minutes time. This is a good track. So obviously, as we said, the only one who hasn't got ballast here is the Dodger. So everyone else has got varying degrees of ballast. He could have an advantage here. Right, let's go on from Pat's view. As you can see, like little wasps buzzing around as we go to turn 2. Gives Jamie just a little bit. Bunny's put in the chat, isn't just me that's crashed. No, that's just you, unfortunately. Your connection wasn't looking great if you're listening, Bunny. You were skipping around a lot. Maybe give your router and PlayStation a reboot. Right, so Skyjacker's now at the front. Takes over the lead. Around the banked turn 6. Got Big Dan right in his wheel tracks. The 2 championship leaders fighting it out. In the standings, they are a mere 6 points apart. Big Dan's got 93 and Skyjacker's got 87, so every point counts here. It's not only average scoring, average finishing position, so everyone's going to score big tonight. Right, Pat is in danger of dropping off a little bit. He needs to make sure he stays at the back of these. Skyjacker has now relinquished the lead to Jamie Dodger. Skyjacker takes that really tight line. It's obviously no slower though, which is interesting. Pat currently has got the fastest lap as we go 2x2 into turn 3. Skyjacker decides he's going to go around the outside of Jamie Dodger. Very nice. There's zero excuse for me missing any action tonight. Right, Skyjacker Base back to the front. Jamie Dodger in second. Big Dan in third. Pat in fourth. Dropping off a little bit, trying to get a slingshot, I think. An interesting difference in lines going on. Oh, is there a little bit of contact there? I'm not sure. Jamie Dodger was sent high, but... Right, this is interesting. Right, so... Skyjacker and Big Dan have opened up a little bit of a gap, 5/10. You can see what Big Dan's doing. He's trying to work with Skyjacker to break the toe. And it's working to a degree. Now comes the key bit. Can they have a good run through the infield and get a second or so away? Oh, so Sky goes higher this time. Big Dan goes low. And Jamie Dodger is back on to the back with a mammoth toe, and he's now 3/10 up. Oh, that looked a bit sketchy. Go on board with the Jamie Dodger. Oh, looks like he's going to get past Ensign. No, Big Dan holds around the outside. Go through the kink. Stick the wheels on the curb. Oh, this is interesting. There we're going around the outside of one. Oh, another little knock. Oh, that was close. Let's see if we can catch that. Look at this again. He just tries to dive down the inside and gives Sky, oh, a little nudge. Gets a big tank slapper himself. Right, that replay worked, but... Right, into a lap 7 we go. Steady as she goes. 7 minutes to go. Yeah, oh, they're taking interesting lines there. It's like watching a MotoGP race. In fact, it's like watching Formula 1 these days, actually. It's just constant passing and repassing. The stress, of course, is making sure you don't make any major mistakes to drop off the back. Jamie Dodge has just done the fastest lap of mid-11. What you don't want to do is get a little bit of oversteer anywhere, and then drops you off the back of the pack, and then you're done for. All right, so Skyjacker. Alright, Bunny's saying sorry, my internet connection is terrible, I'm gonna have to pull out. Give your router a reboot. That might help. Right, Skyjacker then was leading, but Jamie Dodger now takes control. Big Dan holding third at the moment. Pat just seems content just to stick at the back, just mind his own business. Just play a waiting game, see what happens in front. So there's no tyre wear. Yeah, give it a try, Bunny. Good to get you back in, but yeah, give it a full router and PlayStation reboot. And clear your cache as well. Do a full cache removal from your PlayStation. And your game as well, GT7. Right, Jamie Dodger takes up the lead. Have a look at the settings mid after this race to see if it can rain, because that will certainly liven things up. Right, across the line we go, end of lap 8. Jamie Dodger leading, Skyjacker second, Big Dan third, and Pat fourth. Little flash of the lights there. Right, we're going to go 3 abreast, are we, into turn 1. Big Dan decides to drop down and follow Skyjacker. Let's watch what Pat can see. Maxing out in 6th gear, getting a very nice toe. Jamie Dodger's got the fastest lap. Oh, I think we might get a run now on Big Dan. I think we will. Yes, we have. There's Big Dan. Drops down the 4th, but it's no problem at the moment. It's quite stressful though, I've got to say, these races. Oh, we go around the outside of the path. There is the McLaren, liveried Redbull. Junior X. We're going back again. Right, they've dropped a little bit here. They're a second behind Skyjacker. Can't make any more mistakes here. And Skyjacker's taken the lead. And I think these two are now going to have to get together. Because if we watch Skyjacker, and Skyjacker's done the fastest lap of the race, which is good for him because you get a bonus point. Are these two going to work together and try and pull the lead out of the two behind? If we follow Pat on board, he's giving Big Dan an almighty bump draft. There we go. That gap was over a second, 1.2. Now down to 0.7. So they've got themselves back. Pat does a wall of death and very nicely goes around the outside of Big Dan. Well, they've got and he's 6 tenths up. So obviously the toe is pretty strong here, because I was a bit worried there that third and fourth were going to drop off the back, but no, they haven't. Pat is probably on for an absolute screamer of a lap here. So look, 4 tenths up on his PB, which will be enough to get the fastest lap if he stays off the barrier, which he does. Big Dan's now looking at, and we got to force him back again. There we go. I'll avoid the obvious gag. Right, there we go. As predicted, Pat does an 11.0 fastest lap. It was all just a strategic ploy, Pat will tell me afterwards. Drop back a second or so and then just get a huge toe. Right, we're getting close now. There's probably 2 more laps after this one. Now the drivers start getting a few little sweaty palms. Pat is now worked his way up to second. I'll remind you of the ballast. Skyjacker's carrying the most. He's got 605, which is 55. 38 is held by Big Dan, and Pat's got 22. So Jamie Dodger's got it's the only one with no ballast at all in this race. Pat and Big Dan battling over second. Big Dan's going to go low. And then Skyjacker is still on the back of him. Right, 2 more laps to go. Right. Fast forward 13 minutes, and now we'll get to the exciting bit. Jamie Dodger's got a little bit of a lead. Not huge, but... And then we've got a third and fourth are bum drafting each other to try and get back up to the back of Pat. Is Jamie Dodger building a race-winning lead? We'll see. This is key. You got to get all these turns absolutely spot on. That lead is still growing. Pat's in second. The final lap coming up. And Jamie Dodger's got a nice little lead built up there. And he's extended it. Pat needs to make sure he's no more than a second away as we go through the last corner, and to hold him through it as well. Right, this is where my heart rate's starting to go up, and I imagine the drivers are as well, because here we go. It's been 12 laps of setting the scene to get ready for this last lap. Jamie Dodger's done a really nice job, but we've now got, if we go back to Big Dan, he's getting a huge toe, and he's giving Skyjacker a good push past Pat, and that's moved them well into range now of the leader as we come through the first turn for the last time. Any one of these 4 can win it. It's all about who's in second, coming out of the kink in turn 5. Jamie Dodger's still holding. Skyjacker's looking down the inside. Big Dan goes low, and it's still Jamie Dodger hanging on. Oh, Skyjacker goes for a move down the inside. Jamie Dodger's got a little bit wide, but he's got the inside for the next left-hander. Can Skyjacker get the switcheroo done and get the run as we come through the final kink? Right-hander now, we're into the long left. I'm not sure how much of it. You got to get a good slingshot coming off this. Has Jamie Dodger done it? I think he might have done. Is Skyjacker going to pin him? Oh, here we go. I think it's not a huge run to the line. I think Jamie Dodger's going to get it. Is Skyjacker going to get second? He does. Well, look at that. Now, have you ever seen a closer race than finish than that? 4 tenths covers the entire field. Right, let's have a look at that one. So Jamie Dodger played that beautifully. I bet his heart was on his mouth coming through that last couple of corners. So he takes the win. Let's have a look to see. I assume he has won. He's won. That's his first win. Congratulations, Jamie Dodger. That is his first win of the season. Looking here, he's had a couple of thirds, but he's never had a win. Well done. Congratulations on a tricky race to win as well. Then Skyjacker is second, Big Dan third, Pat fourth, and Bunny a DNF. Hopefully he will rejoin. Right, so that means Jamie Dodger is now going to get the full ballast. Guy will drop a little bit, Big Dan will drop a little bit, and Pat will drop all of his. So that was exciting last couple of laps. Right, this guy's just changing the settings. And let's see if I can get rid of the sound. Alright, let's get rid of. The background music is off, so I don't know why that keeps playing up. Weird. Right, that was good fun. Alright, so there'll be a couple of minute pause, and then we'll be back for race 2. Right, we are back. We are back and we have 5. Hopefully, Bunny is going to be good this time. Hope his connection is stable. Pat saying in the chat, hit the rev limiter coming out the hairpin before the tunnel on the last lap. Could have had a very nice slingshot. All to play for again though. Thing to watch out in this is can someone or can 2 people make a break for it, work together, get a gap, and then go alone. It's always the key for overall racing. Right, just waiting for Sky to get things moving. Then we'll have round 2, which I'm sure is going to be as equally exciting as race 1. Right, probably just sorting the grid out. Me, sir, I am ready. I'll tell you, are you waiting for me to do this, sorry? There you go. This guy's obviously not listening to the commentary. Days of Thunder, says Bunny, springs to mind. Yes, indeed. Everyone loves Days of Thunder. Rubbin is indeed racing. Well, hopefully you can all hear me, because I've got my laptop muted. I assume it's all coming through loud and clear. Right, here we go then. Round 2. Right, make sure no one hits the brakes. Everyone hits the brakes before the lights go off, otherwise we get a full start, and then on this track you are probably done for. Right, let's hopefully we're going to get all 5 finished. Everyone gets away nicely. Let's have a little Bunny check, shall we? Bunny looks nice and stable. Look at that, no GT shuffle at all. So if you're hearing me, Jamie, Bunny, sorry, you're looking good. Straight up to second as well. So remember, he was on pole by a mile. Well, he was on pole by a mile for any track, but this track particularly. So Bunny has no ballast. Cuts Guy Jack off quite rudely in the turn 2. He has no ballast and he's very quick. Jamie Dodger was on pole. He's down to 3rd, but it's 0 stress at this time of the race. Can we get a 5-way scrap for the lead all the way through? I think we will. Pat is now leading. How's Pat been doing? Pat's had a couple of seconds, a couple of thirds. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4 thirds. He had a number of fastest laps, so the pace is there. He's the fastest lap round Fuji as well. That's a tricky track. He's going to lead us across the line. Oh, Skyjacker has dropped off a little bit. That's going to make him a little bit nervous. He's off the pack. I wonder if something happened there. No, nothing particular. Let's watch with interest. Sky is now 2 seconds off. That could be a trouble. Pat is leading. Sky's got to hope that these 4 slow each other down. Otherwise he's going to struggle to catch that back up, and Big Dan is probably thinking, now is my chance. Sky took a position off me in the first race. Time to do some damage with 2 rounds only after this. So Pat leads us, Bunny in 2nd, Jamie Dodger in 3rd, Big Dan in 4th, and Sky is now 2.3. I fear That could be him done for race 2. We'll see how this pans out. Right, looks like we've got a 4-way scrap. Pat goes into the tow. 4 tenths ahead of Jammy. Can they break away? This is the way to do it. Let's go. Buddy and Big Dan and Pat will try and work together, but unfortunately for them, Jammy has got Big Dan right behind him as well. And alongside Jammy, as we go into the who's going to brake latest for turn 2 is Jammy. Everyone's taking the high line now. I'm going to take credit for that. Everyone's listening to me. Right, Sky, alas, has dropped even further off. I think he's got a hope for a little bit of, my favourite word, skirmishes between the top 4. Bunny's now taking the lead, and we know how madly quick Bunny is around this track. Can he break away and just sort of drive off? He's got the fastest lap, and he's on course to do it again. I don't know where he's getting those 6 tenths from. That's remarkable. That's going to be the pole lap of the season. He's now 8 tenths up. But Pat is now going to get the tow. He needs a little bit of help though. He does a 11.4. He's not really being gained much on by the 2 behind. Big Dan has got to get on the case of Pat. That's it, and give him a little bit of a bump. Because Jamie Buddy is going to escape. Jamie Dodge's also dropped off the back as well. Now, Jamie, if you're listening to me, I would suggest you drop back and let Sky catch you. They maybe work together, because you ain't going to catch him otherwise. Bunny's leading by just around half a second, fluctuating. Pat hasn't dropped off. Pat's now well in the tow, so he should be on the back of Bunny. Bunny has got the nicest livery. I do love his car. Should we go? Can't really see it from there. Right, as we go into the flat out turn 6. Now on board with Pat. Here we go. You can see the effect now. That gap is closing. Pat does the fastest lap again. 11.2 this time. Gives Bunny a nice little shove. And Dan is dropped off as well. This is interesting. So Dan is now at risk, and this could be a 2-horse race, this one. How interesting. Alright, so 3, 4 and 5 are all quite spread out. I wasn't expecting that. Right, can Bunny and Pat work together and pull away, or are they going to squabble? And I would say it looks like if they squabble, Dan's going to have them. And there we go. Dan's already taken a couple of tenths out in 2 corners, and he's going to be back on the pack. Let's have a look what's going on behind. There's now 3.6 between Jammy and Skyjacker. Jammy, drop back, let the Sky come on your tail, then you can bump draft each other. Right, 3-way battle at the front now. 6 minutes down. Pat has still got the fastest lap. Bunny's sitting on his toe. They're trying to break Big Dan. It still hasn't fully latched on yet. Bunny and Pat now making the most of lack of ballast. Let's go on board with Bunny. Decides to go down the low line. We've got Big Dan right behind us. There's a nice advert for the VRC. Oh, look at that. Dan is quick through there. Slightly different line. Goes in a bit faster. This is, I think, the smoothest I think I've seen Big Dan drive. No drifts at all. We are right on the tail of Pat. Oh, we decided to go past him. That's an interesting view, right. So we're into the lead. Big Dan now looks like he's going to jump up the second. He is, so he's moved himself nicely from being in danger of being left, he's now moved himself up to second, and he's decided he wants to go for the lead. And he does it. And Pat, all of a sudden, now is 1.4 off. Almost like some of these cars have got turbo buttons. Don't get that at all. Pat has gone from being right there to dropped off, and it's a 2-horse race now. Totally different to race 1. Can Pat get himself back on? So Big Dan takes the lead again. Again, this is all about setting yourself up for in 6 minutes time. Can Big Dan cement his lead in the top of the tables in the championship? Right, Bunny's going to try and go down the inside. He does. So there's obviously, these cars got so much downforce, there doesn't seem to be much between those two lines. Right, Pat is now 1.1. He's getting there. He's getting there. He's getting a lovely big draft from the pair of them. They're not really bump drafting each other, so that's actually helping Pat out. Now they are, and you see that gap. Oh, it's still coming down. This is intriguing. Can Pat get onto the back of the two in front? I think we've lost 4 and 5. Good corner through here, Pat, and he's on them, and he is. Look at that. Lovely. That's a key corner. That was Pat. Well done. That was very nice. If he can get through the infield and nicely. These cars obviously suit Pat's driving style. He races in my MX-5s, and I think they're a bit more skittish. These are a bit more planted. Now Pat's on it. We got a 3-way back again. Nicely done, Pat. That was there's quite a lot of jeopardy there being dropped. Right, what's going on here? So Jamie is about to be towed by Sky. So can Sky get himself up to 4th? With one advantage, he'll be no ballast for the last race. Right, so we've done it again. So the front two are pulled again. Another few temps. It's almost like they've got an extra gear going down the straight. It's that Days of Thunder thing where there's an extra inch of throttle travel that all of a sudden just gains you another 10 miles an hour. Right, Bunny is looking down the inside into turn 2. I think he's got him. Big Dan then does a switcheroo and gets him back. Where is the McLaren? There it is. And they also bump drafting each other because they're a quarter of a second up. No, Dan, I'm sure will be content to sit there. They want to shake Pat off, really. That gap's up to nearly a second. If there's a bit of a bump draft going on, Pat could be cast adrift. Let's see. He's now over a second. There he is. And I think he might be out of range if these two can get through the last corner. Oh, interesting downshift there. I think Bunny takes that in 5th, which is interesting. Right. I think this is... Pat could be in trouble. Bunny now leads. Looks like 4th and 5th are getting closer as well. Let's have a quick look to see what's going on between those two. Sky now is just about in towing range, I would say. Probably happy he's actually seen someone now. Oh, that was wide. Nicely judged by Bunny. Yeah, I think... Yeah, Pat has been cast aside. So, with 3.5 minutes left, we are down to a straight fight, I think. Which I'm sure these two will prefer. As we saw race 1, there's not really enough time to slingshot past, and I've been on the wrong side of this myself twice. That it's not really the start finish line is too close to the last corner to get a really good slingshot pass before you get there. Bunny's just done 11.1, so he's now taking the fastest lap. So I would suggest you want to be in the lead probably going out of turn 2. So we'll see how these two play it. Bunny going to try into turn 2? No, he isn't. Right, Jamie's still keeping Sky at arm's length, but Sky, I think, is probably in the toe now. Dan is now taking the lead. Will he be there in another 2 laps time? Right, Pat is going to secure 3rd. Now Pat and Bunny are close as well. Given that Bunny had a DNF in the first race, Pat could be looking at 3rd place here in the championship. Right, here we go then, 2 more laps to go. I think it's between those two at the front. Jamie Dodger still holding Sky off. Right, how do they play it? I think this is going to be the key corner. This is going to be the key corner in a lap's time. What's Buddy thinking? Oh, is he going to go for the inside? No, he decides against it. I think it's out of this corner, then into turn 3. That's going to be the key battleground, I think, for the next lap. Bunny's going to sit there and line this one up. Is Dan going to be tactical and let him through? I don't know. Pat is actually catching him. He's not that far behind. Could Pat be doing another masterclass? Is he going to slingshot his way up to... Yeah, interesting downshift. I think Bunny's running now in 5th. Right, looks like Bunny has decided he's going to go for the lead. He wants to take the lead into the last lap. In the background, we've still got Jamie and Sky. Right, Big Dan sitting on the tail. What does he do here? Is he going to go for it? Bunny looks like he's defending the inside. He is. Here we go. It's the key battleground. Can Big Dan go round the outside? It's the right line, but we've seen these cars. Doesn't matter too much inside or outside. Sky, Big Dan goes for the switcheroo. Bunny's got the inside. Oh, wrong way. Got the inside into turn 3. Can Dan go around the outside? He does. He throws it around the outside. Going the long way around. He knows he's got the inside line for the left-hander that follows it. Right, can Bunny get back down the inside? He's going to have a run. He's going to have a run. Here we go. Dan's defending it. This is so close. What can Dan do from there? Bunny's going to try and stick one down the inside. They're side by side. Oh, did he run him? Oh, Dan's going to duck down the inside. He's got him. Amazing move by Dan. I thought Bunny had it there. Wow, what a finish that was. So Dan gets it from Bunny from Pat. I'm just see if I can replay that very quickly. Can I replay that? No, it's gone back to the start. Thank you very much. Right, so who's going to come? Oh, we missed it. Jamie Dodger just gets it from Skyjacker. Skyjacker finished 5th, but what a finish that was. I'm going to save that replay because that was an epic ending. Wow. So there you go. Let's get rid of that. What a race between Big Dan and Bunny for the win. In the end, there was 3 tenths between them. So Dan gets the second race of the night. Bunny gets 2nd. Looks like his connection is back online. Pat gets another 3rd. Jamie Dodger gets 4th, and Sky gets 5th. Wow, epic race. Right, here we go then for the final race of the night, Twilight. Let's have a quick look at the settings. It's random, so yes, it can rain. Wouldn't that be fun? Right, Sky just given the ballast, so Big Dan is going to get the full quota of the 55 kilos. Bunny gets the 38. And then Pat is going to get 22. Right, well that was fun. Oh, epic last lap. I think we'd, that's worthy of a message to the guys. Right, got 5 minutes. We'll pause for 2 or 3 and then we're back with you. Hello, Skyjacker. Right. Let's see what race 3 throws up. Might only be 5 drivers, but it's super entertaining. Right, is anyone out practicing? Yes, they are. Right, here we go then. Oh, it's a night as well, this should be good. Not for me maybe, but can't see anything. But there we go, right, Skyjacker's on pole. Reverse grid from race 2. And away we go. We're on the leaderboard for the minute. Sky has got a good start, no ballast. Jamie Dodger's also got no ballast. So this could be interesting how this plays out. Hopefully the annoying music will disappear. Right, so Jamie Dodger decides to take the lead. That's a lovely shot. Look at that. What a fine sight that is around the high-speed ring. Into turn 2 we go for the first time. Jamie Dodger on the inside, now the outside. Sky down the inside, and we've got all 5 together. Big Dan has got the ballast. He'd be hoping he can hang on. Him and Bunny have got to work together, I think, to overcome the ballast they've got. Right, so as we go through the infield for the first time, Jamie is leading. Pat trying to warm his tyres up a bit, giving it a little wiggle. Skyjacker is in 3rd. Bunny is in 4th, and Dan is in 5th. Already dropping off the back a little bit, which is interesting and keep him excited. So, end of lap 1 then, Jamie Dodger leads us over the line. Pat up to 2nd, he's got Skyjacker giving him a lovely push. Oh, I mean, Sky's going to go down the inside of the parent, is he? No, he displaces Pat. There's Pat. Got Bunny, he's dropped off a little bit there, 7/10. Got a grandstand view of the battle for first as we go into turn 2. Sky does his usual low, high line. Bunny now has caught right up. Dan has dropped off a bit. Interesting. This ballast, I wonder if it's having that big an effect. I think race 1 maybe not so much because the drivers are all finding their feet. But Dan has dropped off a little bit, but he's back in the slip as we go into the kink. Go on, hook it up on the curb, Dan. Go on, we love it when people do that. No, he's hoping he can get a nice run out of here. Holds in 5th, which seems to be the done thing. And away we go across the line then. So, fastest then, Sky does 11.3. That's pretty quick. Battling with his kind of partner from race 2. Dan is in danger here of being dropped. That ballast, I think, is affecting the cars a lot round here, especially through the infield. It's probably making the cars a bit slower through the quick stuff as well. So Sky's in 2nd, Pat in 3rd. Not carrying a huge amount of ballast. Bunny and Dan have got obviously a lot. Get on board with Sky. We've got Pat behind us. Let's just go from the back end of the Dodger. There we go, Sky's hooking it up beautifully. Look at that, that's lovely. Yeah, Dan is definitely dropping off in the background. Sky's giving us a lovely bump. He's trying to brake. Pat behind, but Pat is still there. How fast Bunny is? Bunny's is 8/10 and growing as Pat has now latched onto 2 in front, and we've got 3 who are going to work together, I think, to try and drop Bunny. Bunny's now 1.3, he's out of the tow, but we can see 2nd and 3rd are in a little bit of a squabble. Don't squabble, boys, you'll slow each other down. That's the chance you've got now. Oh, look at that. Bunny had a brilliant turn 2, but obviously goes in quickly, but he's dropped off. Pat decides to try and make a move on Jamie, and these two have a nice little battle as they go through the infield hairpins. So Pat's going to get the switcheroo done, is he? Not quite. The Sky is now taking the lead. No, Bunny's now 1.3 off. He's out of a slipstream range, I would think. Especially given the top 3 are going to bump draft each other down the main straight. Keep it nice and clean, the three of them. So into lap 4, top 3 in a row. Nothing to choose between them. Jeremy giving Sky a bump. Pat will try and join in the fun. They're now 1.6 ahead of Bunny. Bunny has been dropped. So again, Bunny and Dan would do well to work together here. It would probably serve Bunny's purpose better if he drops back and lets Dan catch him up, and then they bump draft. They'll be faster from 3.5 seconds down or 4 seconds down than they would be going alone. Bunny takes a huge chunk of the barrier, and whether that was on purpose or not, he's had the effect of letting Dan catch him up. So let's see. They're 5 seconds behind, so Big Dan is 5 seconds behind. Let's see if that pretty colossal thump, and that's damaged pretty much everything. Hopefully for Bunny's sake, that damage is going to clear before it affects him too much. He's going to lose aero. So the front's gone, the back's gone, right. So those two can now work together. We'll keep an eye on that gap. 5.4 seconds. They're going to have to work tight together because the top 3 are working beautifully together. The Jammy, who won the first race, back up the sharp end again. Sky decides to go down the inside. Oh, let's watch from Pat's view. There is Jammy, just gone past. We've got Skyjacker right in front of us. We've got Jammy right behind us. Flatter in 6th. Couple of cheeky downshifts. There is Jammy. Right, and it's 5.6, so they are pulling away. Whoa! Wow! I bet he fell with his mouth there. Wow, that looked like it was gone, but he held it and didn't lose any time either. Very impressive from the Dodge. Right, let's see what's going on with these two. So these are now towing each other, but I think this could be a battle for 4th. But Dan's had a good night so far. He's outscored. Well, I think he was 1 behind, wasn't he? Behind Sky in race 1. But he had a good race 2, obviously with his brilliant last lap. And it looks like we got some action going ahead. So Pat's moved up to 2nd. The Skyjacker's taking the lead. Jammy's down to 3rd, but so this is all about setting themselves up for that last lap or so. Skyjacker, could he get into the 10s? He might fancy his chances, where the 2nd and 3rd are squabbling a bit. It's always interesting, the overall races. You always feel like you can go faster than the car in front. What we end up doing is actually costing yourselves time. Pat has moved back up the 2nd. Pat the only one carrying ballast, but it's only I think 22 kilos, so it's not a huge amount. Whereas Big Dan and Bunny are carrying a lot more, and I think they're going to catch up now. They're 5.7. Doing 11.4, whereas the leaders are doing pretty much the same. So they're doing the same lap time now, but they've got a 6-second gap to close. Just going to show that ballast is really making a big effect here, but you can't drive around it on this track by the looks of it. Right, let's go on board from Sky. From his side of the air intake. Going to turn 3. Whoa, Pat going in there hot. A cheeky downshift, moderating the throttle, and it's always tricky to know when to go full pelt out of the left hairpin, and that looks pretty much ideal. Hooks it up beautifully onto the curb. Loving the form. Right, Pat looks like it's going to scrub wide. Oh, it's just where the tyre deg's on low. That sounds horrific. Right, so top 3, probably 5 laps to go. Look at this tow we get, it's colossal. He's going to duck down the inside, is he? Yep, he is. And we go from the third to first. Let's see what's going on behind. Oh, it's up to Bunny. Oh, Bunny's had a... I don't know if we're going to catch that, but let's try it. No. I reckon Bunny's had a little off there. Yeah, he's off. He won't catch that up now. See if we go for fastest lap. Really pushing it through turn 2. Right, to the front then. This three-way battle. So what was a four-way battle in race 1? Was a two-way battle in race 2? We've got a three-way now. I don't think Dan's going to get anywhere close now. He's 6.5 seconds off. Right, so let's concentrate on these three. Probably 3 laps to go. Skyjacker. Let's watch from his rear view. Advert for Virtual Races Club. Go find them on Discord. New members are always welcome. Look at that toe. Look at this. Look at that three-way. Look at that. Where are the other two? There we go. Sky goes planted down the middle, decides not to. That was Ricardo Zonta, Schumacher and Hakkinen moment, that was. Right, so Pat has now taken the lead. A healthy lead of 6 tenths as well, which is a lot in the grand scheme of things. Well, I think he's going to go wide there. Sky's going to get a nice run out of there. Oh no, Pat's pulling away. Pat, he's pulling away there. He's probably a bit unlucky that actually Sky has got a wingman to push him along, because Pat has now opened up a nice little gap there. Right, Sky has been demoted to 3rd, but he won't mind that. Jeremy Dodger's flicking all over the front of him. Right, 8 tenths off the lead, but that is going to go down quickly, and Pat, you can see, he's actually trying to break the toe, which I think is probably a bit of a fruitless exercise on this bit of track. If we go from the rear of Pat's car, you can see Jeremy and Sky coming at him rapidly. Here they come. Are they going to make a move? Got 2 more laps after this one. Sky likes that inside line. The Dodger stays a bit higher. Into turn 3 we go. Pat leads him through. So Jeremy's going to try and go down the inside. Ooh, was that a little bit of a nudge? Not sure, but they've come out in the same order they went in. It's always good. Right, now it starts getting interesting. Now we've got 2 more laps to go after this corner. Jeremy goes down the inside. Be interesting to see if that line does appear quicker actually. It is too. I think his car's got so much downforce that you don't scrub the speed off like you would in a GT3 for instance, or Route 4, GT4, and therefore going tighter actually is quicker because it's a shorter distance. Right, what's Pat going to do? Is he going to try and go around the outside of the pair of them? A brave move around the outside there. Here we go then, 3 abreast as we go into turn 2. Jeremy's got it at the moment. Sky's going to try and go down the inside. Pat's around the outside. Look at this. Oh, another little bit of contact, but all is good. Jeremy Dodger's still leading. Now we come into the interesting bit. Let's just check on the other 2. Big Dan is in 4th, for Bunny is still in 5th. Right. Jeremy takes the lead. Interesting lines coming there. Right, this is going to be the lap now. Let's see who... Have we got any... I mean, Big Dan proved that you don't have to be leading halfway through this corner to actually win. Sky is going to try and look down the inside. No, decides I'm going to sit behind the first 2 as we go into the final lap. So it might have been a small grid tonight, but we've had some cracking racing. Here he goes. Oh, is he going to try and go around the other side? I think he is. Wow, look at that. Sparking as they go through the bank curve. Pat's leading at the moment, but I don't think he's going to be there when they come out. They're still making lots of contact. Right, into turn 2 we go. Can Pat defend it? We've seen that he's got a good chance. He has got a good chance, but I think he went a bit wide. Jamie Dodger hit the wall. Skyjacker's now looming. He's moved himself into pole position. Is he going to try and make a move as they go into turn 3? He does. But you can, Big Dan showed you can hang it around the outside. If Pat holds it, what can Sky do from here? Is he going to get a run? Pat is nice and neat and tidy through there, and he's actually pulling away as we go into the banking, but Sky's going to get a very good slingshot. Now, what does Pat do? Does he go down the inside? Or does he hang around the outside? They're all kind of doing the same sort of lines. Sky's going to try and get a run. Can he do it? I don't think he's going to do it. Pat is going to get, I think, across the line. Oh, this is going to be so close. Sky's got it. Sky gets him on the line. Wow, I thought Pat had that. Wow, what a race. I didn't think there was enough time. Sky gets it. Mega finish from Pat and Jamie Dodger. What a top 3. 2 temps covering the top 3. Another cracking race. Big Dan finishes 4th. So still a good night overall. Then Bunny does well at the Soldier onto 5th. But there you have it. That was the end of another cracking race. Sky takes it by 76 thousandths from Pat. I thought he had it. Pat gets the fastest lap by another fastest lap to add to his tally of a 1:11.025. And then Jamie gets a cracking 3rd as well, followed by Big Dan and then Bunny. So that's working its way beautifully there, giving us a real mixed up 3 races. Right, well, that's cracking because there was only 5 driving. If you're watching and you want to say hello, come and join the fun. There's plenty of races and series that the VRC are doing these days. Go join the Discord. You can have a look around. Pat saying, wowzers, I can breathe again now. Yeah, that was cracking. I'm not surprised. I thought you had that, Pat. I thought you timed that perfectly. Right, so next week. Yeah, I might be able to do next week, not sure yet. I will certainly do, if I can, the last round. Championship decider, I would imagine. Sky winning that and Big Dan finishing 4th means that averages are going to be pretty close, I think, for tonight. So next round is round 7, the Deep Forest. And then the finale is the Redbull Ring, round 8. Right, Skyjack says, thank you, buddy. Looking forward to watching this back. Yes, you should. That's fast forward the first 13 minutes for each race, and it's really good. Right, we'll catch you again, hopefully, for another broadcast. This has been the Virtual Racers Club. I've been Matt Psycho16, and hope to catch you very soon. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.